Hello there everyone and welcome back. It is time to jump back into Necrons, although honestly, I may not be all that excited to play with this fleet since the last time I tried playing with Necrons, I honestly can't remember what fleet it was since I was gonna do something a little bit different outside the triple ruiner fleet with the particle whips. But not only that, my main fleet I do want to play with is kind of laughable as in terms of actually winning a match. It could probably still do really well in terms of damage, but because of the nerfs that were done to frigates and light cruisers, or really buffs to everything else, battleships, battle cruisers, regular cruisers just grab objectives that drastically faster, whereas before, for the brief history lesson, all the sizes of the ships all captured the objective at the same speed. And that made Vanguard fleet for Adeptus, the Space Marines, that much more. Well, it was the most popular fleet, the Vanguard fleet. And I think there were a couple others that were light cruiser centric. I just honestly can't remember what they were, outside the weird glitch we had back in beta with Drukhari and their carrier light cruisers. I think really it was just the Space Marines that were oppressive and at least the only type of fleet you saw, especially with frigates also having honored a chapter back then. Now, battleships can get objectives instantly. The light cruisers also get less charges of their abilities, which can be pretty significant, especially for Lightning Link. That was one of the main abilities I used for my light cruiser fleet. Due to their mobility and the being able to punish ships that were isolated was so prevalent, and even the Shroud fleet was not even used by anyone else, I think. Again, it was mostly the Imperial fleets, I believe, that most used the light cruisers. And now, maybe I might even go to the Shroud fleet at some point just for the fun of it. It's not likely to win, but let's try and redeem myself after my last match, if that's at all possible. For I am going to jump back into the particle whip fleet, since I'm not really a fan of going too top heavy, which would probably be the Devil Cairn fleet, the Devil battleships, which I don't think that's even popular even at this point. It does allow more options since Ancestral Terror is kind of a big deal. Since I don't have rally, I don't have anything to help deal with morale, and to help cripple opponents' ships is a big deal too. I'm trying to remember what are the alternatives besides the Triple Scourge fleet, and I don't really like carrier fleets generally because I believe they can be managed just by your own knowledge of the game, and of course good use of terrain. So it doesn't really matter what fleet you utilize, they could be heavily neutered just by how you play mostly. Either way, I am going to jump into this, and if things go well, maybe I'll just jump into my Shroud fleet for the hell of it. If I win all my matches, then I'll just commit suicide and have some fun with the Shrouds. But otherwise, Arc Propagator is going to be important, the additional range could be useful. The only thing I'm worried about, of course, relying so much on Lances, is Eldari fleets, which are very rare at this point, but their hull fields are probably can hard counter at least the damage output I'm doing. And I'm really hoping I don't deal with 5 Cruiser Adeptus Mechanicus because, again, Novacans are going to be really problematic as well there too. So wish me luck. Alright, what an interesting way to start. Although, this is not the Protector fleet, I want to believe. I'm trying to remember the town icons off the top of my head. But, with the bombers, seeker missiles, this could still be problematic. It could be. Only if my opponent knows how to stagger out their ordnance is the main question. As I have the Star Pulse Generator to kind of destroy most of them, and then it remains to be seen how I deal with the rest. Now, what were we doing? Well, I'm worried about Seeker Missiles. I do have fighters at the ready, but they're only a single squadron, and the one thing I absolutely hate is trying to use the Doom Sight on the flagship, as that evokes a 3-minute cooldown as opposed to a 2-minute cooldown of the other 2 battle cruisers. I do believe, depending on their fleet, that they should have the advantage. It can be a little bit tricky, since I don't even remember when's the last time I played as Tau with Necron, if I'm so serious. Otherwise, I want this for the regeneration and damage potential ideally, but since I'm Lances, I don't really want to get in close. I'm just wondering what would be good alternatives. I love Lightning Link, but it works better with Shrouds because it's so much easier to aim it. As this is a whopping 1,600 points of damage, I think, if I can hit them. Or, well, 1,200, I believe, more accurately. Again, it's been a while, but we'll see what we have. Do I just go after the morale or the decks? Engines. I don't have Lightning Link, so that's not helpful. Alright, so they do have light cruisers as well. And this latency will suck, if for no other reason than just watching this match, but I can rest easy. This is not the most fearsome fleet I have to go up against, but it remains to be seen. Again, latency is going to make this difficult to even judge, but I'm wondering if these are battleships or not. There at the very least should be cruisers. I'm pretty certain they're not Demiurge, otherwise they, hopefully, I would have liked to think if they're Demiurge they'd be charging up their cutting lasers right now.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
But I know there are ships on the right there, and it grabbed. There's a lot of them, in fact, even. Okay, that's the battleship there, I believe. There's got to be a couple of light cruisers there, otherwise they would not have gotten that so quickly, right? And I do need to be very mindful. I do have mass recall, so I need to be very aware of where I'm positioning my the flagship to make use of that.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Necron do need to be a bit meticulous, to say the least. Oh, it's just a handful of frigates, and that kind of gives away. Oh, it is the protective fleet. All right. I honestly did forget if that was like Protector or the Merchant Fleet, in all honesty. So, that answers my question. Arc Propagator's gonna get a few of these with very little difficulty, but we're not out of the window yet. Can I get one more shot? One more shot? Thank you. Just get the frigates out of there. Thankfully, I'm immune to fire results, but that doesn't really help me a whole lot when... Well, it keeps them alive, I guess. And they do have light cruisers, so I can reveal you, but... And they do have secret missiles, but what are they going after? Okay, they're just going after frigates, and they just gain stealth, so... I don't... Again, this is more convenience for me so far. And this is what I hate most about not having shields. The random chance of getting engine critical hits on me. But we're getting shots in. It's going to repair in about a minute, I'm hoping. I just don't want to do the hull regeneration yet, but... Yeah, this latency really sucks. Not a big deal for me actually fighting with Necron, since it's not like I'm playing with Eldari that would probably just lose because it's alone. And, okay, repairs are done. And I want to dodge, ideally. But, nope, they're not going to make it out in time, are they?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Finish them off. You can ram me. That doesn't help very much. Yes, fire results on you. Flagship's taking a bit of a hit. So I think I'm jumping you into the asteroid belt in preparation for the mass recall. And what's... okay, the deck is what tied to my abilities. I always wondered that to an extent. Damn it. Now I'm forced to kind of repair this. Nope. There's some bad luck right there. And because I cannot use the mass recall at all either. It's not too terrible just yet, but I need to actually start damaging him back. As I'm still waiting for the Custodian... two permanent engine critical hits. If I can survive 3 minutes, which should be possible with the Protector fleet. So, well, I gotta be mindful again of their dang bombers and secret missiles. Can we shoot this thing? I'm not going to be able to use the Scarab Swarm on them anytime soon. But I do need the Star Pulse Generator handy for actual bombers. And I would like to reveal that. Oh, I am about to reveal it. I just gotta fly directly at it for that possibility to happen. I am regenerating health, so that helps mitigate that some. I would like to damage the engines, but I'll take the deck hits. It could be useful later on, but that we gotta get there first is the problem. I don't know if we're gonna get there very much. If I keep suffering critical hits, I do feel like it's not gonna go well, but you are within my firing arc. I have the Star Pulse Generators is an easy way to deal with this. I am partly wondering if I could... Oh, that's why I'm being revealed by fighters. Not a problem. Yet. They only have 4 capital ships at the moment, I think, that can actually even fire bombers and seeker missiles. That will help minimize the damage quite a bit.
25% of strategic points.
Come on, jump please. Oh, you're... Oh. I think I could shoot some of them down. I should have launched fighters. If I was so serious. Thankfully, not a big issue there.
Enemy has seized a strategic area.
They got the points. I'm stealing it from them. I gotta play the long con. And I think I am gonna start outlasting them. 30 seconds I can maybe regenerate. Start regenerating my engines. Maybe. You're out of the fight, no questions asked. We'll switch targets. I gotta be very mindful of more missiles though. Because with how close they're getting, I'm gonna have very limited time to deal with these. Okay, I destroyed 2, maybe 3 of them, so that was worth not Star Pulse generating. And let's regenerate our hull, and as a bonus, damage the hell out of this other ship. Fighters, yes, thank you, fighters. Let me recall those. I am actually... Am I getting damage? I'm really hoping I'm getting damage. I'm gonna... Yep, my engines are down, basically, so it's not like I can do... Yeah, this stasis bombs might actually help me to a limited extent.
You have seized a strategic area.
Let's see, Scanner Pulse will finish you off. Arc Propagator would be nice up there, but I prefer the actual kill. Come on, which one has Star Pulse Generator? Ah, dang it. I thought this one had charged up, and that delay cost me a little bit of damage. Can I think they may be too far away. Yeah, they're too far away for the Arc Propagator. But I am taking the hits now. Now it's time to switch dance partners. And here comes the Seeker Missiles and all those bombers. This scares me because I want to time this perfectly. Okay, I did get the bombers, but Seeker Missiles did hit me. And I want you to Scanner Pulse, it's really important right now. And then just go grab the point. I said switch dance partners, damn it. What part of that did you not understand? Sadly, I'm getting no use out of my mass recall, but I'm hoping I'm suffering less critical hits. And as soon as I say that, one of my particle whips go down. I could dodge this really well. Latency, again, is always problematic and annoying, but I think we're okay. I'm just not going to get to grab the point like I want. In fact, I would love nothing more than to steer these Seeker Missiles to the Custodian. That is something I would love nothing more to do that I have yet to pull off, at least in a meaningful fashion. Your deck's gone. You're going to mute me. No, stop ramming me. You're just sealing your own demise at this point. I can regenerate again. Custodian's on the run. And you are doing what was the original plan before we had ramming Tau, which is not something I was ever expecting to see in my life. Tau that are all melee focused. Maybe melee's trained like Farsight and all that, but not really
The enemy
being
has
their main
accumulated
strategy.
50% of strategic
Oh,
points.
I thought the range on the Scarab Swarm was actually further than it actually was. So, bomb. There are only 6 fighter squadrons. In all honesty, there was no point to doing that, but I'll go with it. And we will reveal you in a moment. And when you're revealed, you'll take additional damage as a bonus. And something I've been lacking to do was the boarding, I guess. That is weird visual graphics, I gotta say. We're suddenly going 2D with the way the Scarab Swarm looks. I'm just curious, is that part of the gas cloud affecting that? I don't know if I like it or not, but... Nope, it's not the gas cloud apparently, so... That is a weird visual glitch. And it's a bit of an eyesore. There, no bombers for you. And speaking of which, let's put our fighters to good use. Even though, again,
Strategic area.
because I launched it on my... Wow, 200 seconds. Oh, that's because of the crew, that's why. Because I launched the fighters on the flagship, it is drastically longer than 90 seconds. But I think we got this, thankfully, but... At the same time, this is not the 6 cruiser fleet that is so terrifying. Especially if they stagger seeker missiles and bombers at the same time. That could be very problematic. And with good use of my star pulses, that could be great. Maybe. Ah well, it's a victory. And if nothing else, we'll just take it as a warm-up. If only a little bit. Since I can handle the railguns really well until they start getting those ridiculous critical hits that, while are not damaging, can really screw up my game plan quite well. As it felt like in that case when I lost my engines and all my abilities as a result. Oh wow, this is a turn of events I wasn't expecting. Alvarius has infiltrated the Space Marine chapters of the... Damn it, the White Scars no less. I almost want to say the White Wolves, but that's not true, damn it. I don't know why I want to say that. Mixing the Luna Wolves with the White Scars somehow. Or if not the Space Wolves. Either way, they have the boarding potential that can be really scary, especially when they get in close, but I could deal with boarding parties really well, I could deal with boarding torpedoes really well. What I'm wondering is if they're utilizing the 6th Lance Fleet. Although, again, I don't even remember when's the last time I even got up against that fleet. Never mind how practical it might be against Necrons, no less. As they do have Disruption Overcharge to kind of deny me my health regeneration. I'm not going to be killing their fleets incredibly quickly, so that kind of fleet actually is really scary against me. I want to go so far as to argue. Especially if they get super aggressive with their boarding, as they do have the speed to kind of get out of the Scarab Swarm relatively quickly. And I think I might want... Well, it'll remain to be seen what we're up against. But I want to be mindful of the mass recall. And... looks like Battle Barge. Alright, Battle Barge 3 strike cruisers. Again, it remains to be seen what kind of fleet. If it's... Oh no, never mind. There's the 6. Again. Do I destroy engines? Do I destroy weapons? Boarding is the biggest problem, and I think engines denies them getting close if I'm so lucky as to get those critical hits. But the Prowl Lances, that might not help a whole lot, as they're going to still have the range to shoot me if I want to hope to do damage to them. Going to be a bit of a trick there to that. I'm trying to understand my engagement plan. I have not heard any fighters launching, but again, with the gas clouds, the fighters could very easily be hidden.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic
And I don't want to reveal
area.
myself too preemptively, even though it might be necessary to kind of cover space. And otherwise, if they have a fighter bay, if any of their strike cruisers has fighter bays, then they cannot afford a frigate, is what I've learned with this type of fleet. The fact I'm not seeing any means there's at least one roaming around. That's going to be the main thing I'm going to be keeping an eye out for until we actually know what they're utilizing. Actually, I do want the reload stance, don't I? Because again, disruption overcharge is very likely prevalent here. And I guess we'll get ready to start. Actually, I should start revealing these guys. Torpedoes with disruption overcharge and the armor piercing. Ideally, I want to think. Yeah, I want to try to harass them. Maybe if I get so lucky, get engine critical hit. At least they'll prompt maybe a response of some kind. Okay, there's the fighter bay. That confirms there's no frigates around. But again, going after a flagship could be a bit problematic. And I don't have to worry about fighters at all. Especially if it's just boring torpedoes. I have mass recall. Let's use that as a bait. If at all possible. Probably not going to happen here. I just really wish I had the stasis bomb this time, damn it. That would have been really nice. And I did not get the engine critical hit I was hoping for. But I'll just use some of the disruption bombs. Fighters are going to deal with more of those. Hopefully I can shoot down enough of them for it to really matter. Okay, good. And once they get close, oh sure, just shoot the proper target. This is a good response. But they can board the hell out of me, so let's not get complacent. But this is still a lot of boarding damage. That was overcommitted, I will admit, because I had no idea where the boarding torpedoes were coming from. But that's still a ridiculous amount of damage. It's just a matter of cleaning up at this point. I don't know what to actually prioritize because everything took a massive amount of damage if I'm so serious. I don't know what to prioritize. Oh, dang it. I should get these frigates going because I am missing out on opportunistic shots here. Come on, fighters. Did that intercept them? Repair everything. And keep hammering them. And I do have mass recall backup, but it might not matter too much when my flagship's the one that's the most vulnerable to getting hit. And I did board with everything, so I am about to lose the flagship in a moment too. I am going to be able to reactivate it in a moment, so that's not a huge issue yet. Now, we've got to actually start killing these things for these to really stick. Yeah, this might... this is not going to be good here. If I could get another one in... Another shot in, that'd be great, but I don't think I'm getting it. Scarab Swarm. I just want another Scarab Swarm. 3 seconds. How many of these can we take out? And ideally we can reactivate the flagship later. Hopefully. That's gonna burn to death. I do not want to kill you, but we have to wait 30 seconds. No, we don't even need to wait 30 seconds. Come closer to my Scarab Swarm, you idiot. Yes, yes.
50% of strategic points.
Well, that was not at all terrifying, wasn't it? Again, I did not want to get close because of the boarding, but because everything took maximum damage, I didn't know what to prioritize. Everything went too well at the start, and even then, I don't deal damage incredibly quickly either, so the boarding damage still did what it needed to, and it was incredibly terrifying with that said. I do honestly question the armor piercing, as the strike cruisers with their macro cannons that actually are the only thing that benefits from the armor piercing do pitiful damage. I think that's... I don't know how they would have changed it aside from maybe a Kulex's assassin, which would be really good. But I'm getting the sense they would have preferred the broadside boarding if they were going to commit so heavily to that. But again, it went too well at the start, and I didn't know how I could effectively start killing things in a very efficient manner when everything's already crippled. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Incredibly terrifying because, again, my damage potential is going to be really slow. But Tyranids is going to be different. I have fighters at ready to kind of reveal things. I'm going to have a beacon probably for this match too. And I don't think I'm going to be using the Scarab Swarm for this, as I'm probably just going to be straight up dead if they ever get within range of using said Scarab Swarm. I don't think that's too unreasonable conclusion to make. But now, with that said, how do I best go about this? Beacon without a doubt. I don't expect the bolt to hit, as I can never damage their engines, and again, don't want to be that close. Yeah, State Spawn's the only thing I can really think of. I seriously doubt they're using Pyro Acid, though. Otherwise, I would be in really good shape. Although I am hearing the indication that they're using Lock On. That's what that noise represents. They're using tracking senses. So maybe there's a possibility that they're using Pyro Acid, although, again, I don't think I need to worry about hull damage so much, so Tesseract Crypt's not all that important. What's a good alternative, though? Again, Lances notoriously don't have a lot of good alternatives to them. Morale only matters once I actually kill the flagship, in which case I don't even need Nightmare Shroud. I'm not doing critical hits for the Structural Analyzer. I honestly don't know what's a good choice. More lock-on stances. I don't know what to believe. More tracking senses, I guess, more accurately. Oh well. I'm gonna have to try my luck and see how we do. Where am I most worried about them to go? Basically, where I'm gonna be flying. And since I'm the host, I can hear them. Simple thing, as I mentioned when I was playing with Tyranids before. I just don't want the flagship to launch fighters, ideally. I might as well. Although I probably didn't need that third one, to be honest, as my beacon's gonna go there. Otherwise, that should hopefully reveal. I probably am not going to the left with that said, or to going to the right rather. But revealing them is going to help. And I do have a bit of a blind spot. No, I don't have a blind spot. I have another fighter squadron there kind of covering for that. And let's see, frigate there. I almost want to send frigates over. I think I just want to do a hard turn left and just avoid them. Because I hear them all rushing over there. And the last thing I want to do is to give them easy opportunity to grab me. Now, the big question is figure out who fighter squadron's which. There's the hive ship there, so it is a Pyro Acid fleet.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Very interesting. I do get to keep all my fighters at least. Let's actually reveal this. Okay, so they are Krakens. Okay, this is very interesting. But I'm not too worried about their hull damage so much. And only one of them actually has shields to kind of eat through my ships. Alright, so I'm gonna have to take my time here, get what damage I can, because I am forfeiting the points. There's not really much choice for me. But if I can get a couple free frigate hits, that's great. Actually, let me just prioritize weapons, although again, boarding's the problem. There's just nothing I can really do about their boarding, as I can't really destroy their engines. We'll have to settle for just crippling this stuff. Again, I am immune to fire assaults, so I am basically good against pyre acid. I am not worried in the slice there. It's critical hits that do worry me. Otherwise, let's just keep hammering them. Lances are great against the Krakens. And I should have enough point defense to deal with 2 torpedoes really easily. And they're coming straight for me. They're not playing the objective game. They are eating right out of my hands. Almost quite literally, and I don't want them to do that either. If they keep on moving, they're going to be just... I'm going to get dissolved by their shield strengths. Alright, they're all dead. We're all good here. And again, I have stasis bombs, but I'm not really worried about them yet. Only minor downside is because I'm not doing damage to their shields, my fighters are going to be pretty useless here. They're not going to be doing a whole lot with only single fighter squadrons, but I am getting free hits in. I am okay with this. This would be a completely different match, though, if they actually played for the objective. As I hinted before, I had no choice but to forfeit the right side of the map, with all of them there. They conveniently gave that away. And I might as well... Yeah, I might as well start post just for 3 of these squadrons, right? Even though they're pretty much doing nothing to me right now. Aw, I was hoping I destroyed that one, too. I am safe against the pyre acid. Even if they were... Even if pyre acid was nerfed and previously maybe the most predominant type of Tyranid fleet. It's the boarding that does scare me, though. I can jump, that's not a problem. I say that and then I had to conveniently lose my engines. Now I'm getting stuck in a corner, let's be careful of that. That was not what I want, I just want to replenish the crew, ideally. And is that torpedoes? No, that's a strangled tentacle. And I do have... Well, that doesn't help you very much. Even though I kind of had to counter that regardless, so I'm not worried in the slightest. But what I want to do is have these frigates just hound the flagship, ideally. You're going to get boarded, sadly. Not a lot I can do about that. It is taking a lot of damage, though. And thankfully they're not prioritizing the engines, they decide to go after the deck instead. I think, or again, if it's a less experienced opponent, it's possible they don't know about the nuance of being able to prioritize components the best. Kill these ships, best you can. Ideally kill this one ship, perfect. I am in a bit of trouble, but a stasis bomb might be able to help with that. I can only jump with 1 ship, though, at the moment. Actually, I could jump with 2 if it was highlighting only a 1. I don't know what to make of that.
You have accumulated 25%.
And as a result, I do have you isolated, sadly. Now I kind of wish I had a mass recall. Why did I not? Oh, I thought stasis bomb would be more useful, that's why. As I don't want them to get close to me, period, ideally. Can I do some decent damage, though? Because if they start ignoring me, that helps a lot. Because then this battle cruiser might be able to just go and do some damage for me. Since they're running with most of their fleet, the boarding parties, I'm gonna have fighters in 10 seconds, so I'm comfortable I could take those on. And the flagship's taking a bit of a beating. I don't even need to use the Star Pulse generator, which is kind of convenient. And you thankfully did not board me, which I'm a little surprised by, but... I did get boarded, not much I could do about that, but... Let's just get these frigates out of here. I have a very minor point advantage, although... Let's actually get... Yeah, ram me. You're just helping me at the moment. I think you're left for dead.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
I did good damage, killing most of their fleet, but... I think we're nearing the end of this ship's lifespan right now. So let's just kill that cruiser off. Probably the only thing I can really think of. You go after the flagship some more. It is regenerating health, so it's not the best idea to disengage from the flagship when it's actually getting its health back. But I want to kill you with how close you are to just straight up dying. One more hit for good measure, please. Although I probably should not have gotten within boarding range. Yeah, and I actually should switch to reload, because maybe I'll regenerate some of my crew that way. I was kind of hoping to maybe just decap this point. This is just going to die an abysmal end. It's not even going to be able to steal the point. But at least it's tying up most of their fleet, right? Probably the best I could ask for.
You have seized a strategic area.
Nope. Let's see where the flagship is. I found you. You can't hide. I see where your spore bomb's going, and I'm just going to turn around, ideally. I don't have much I could do with this, and if you're not paying attention, hopefully I could do good. Maybe I can cripple this thing. Alright, Star Pulse. I want to make sure this actually hits the cursed thing. They did boost out. So I could have just left it there and reactivate it later with my frigates, maybe. But I still have a nice healthy point lead, sort of. It doesn't feel very healthy when I could die in a moment's notice. But we are continuing to cripple this. I'm in range still. Barely. And you lost your one of your main pyro acid shots. Alright. And you're just not going to conceal yourself. In fact, I might just hunt you down right now. It's probably a terrible idea because this hive ship can grab the point so ridiculously fast, but we're probably just going to have another case where we switch dance partners.
You have accumulated 50% of strategic points.
There, you stay hit then. Once the shields are down, my fighters could contribute doing the hull damage, maybe. That's the idea. I didn't realize they were going to fly over there, though. Dang it, they had to catch the retreating recalled fighters, too, which is not very good for me. Get out of boarding range. We'll jump out in a moment. And then I'll be free to do whatever my heart desires, right? Not quite, because of the crew damage on the R1. They still got the boarding in, but hopefully I'm still okay. I can't call arms, though, sadly. Yeah, just kill this thing now. It's the closest thing. Maybe I can't run away as much as I like. Engines are also down. This is a tough choice. Because we're crippling the hive ship pretty well, but again, because of the extra mobility of the other cruiser, I'd rather not have to deal with additional boarding potential. Boarding damage. I don't know what to go after, since I'm kind of forced to split up a tiny bit. If I'm... Oh, you repaired the engines, perfect. For a moment I considered that to be a permanent engine critical hit. Sadly, you are being boarded. And this is probably a terrible idea, but it turns you around. And let's see. Can we kill this thing? Actually, I'm just gonna... Can I concede to the ram? I'm gonna have to reactivate this thing quickly. Because without that, it's gonna lose all its crew, so ram this cursed thing. And I'm so lucky, ram into the R1. I don't think I'm gonna get to do it. But you are conveniently getting close to me.
The enemy has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
So I will take that. I would have loved that ram, though. I think we're okay with 2 objectives to my name. And trying to continue. Yeah, they're not doing enough hull damage to me, thankfully. We're in the clear. We are in the clear. There's nothing to worry about. It's just a slow, agonizing battle. Since the frigates alone should assure my victory just due to the convenience of reactivating my ships, should they board. And again, I still have 2 objectives to my name. We are fine. I just have to be very careful of boarding ships, since they did not recall these fighters anytime soon. Actually, I could... Nah, I can't jump out yet. I have to wait another 15 seconds. We are almost there. Ram me! Ram me! That was not a ram. I'm gonna ram you instead. I'm gonna do the one thing Necron are terrible at. Ramming something that's more mobile and bigger than them. We'll see how you like it. And that's not boarding parties, thankfully. Not that it's a big deal. Again, I can just reactivate the ship, so we're in the clear. That was convenient. But again, I do wonder if my opponent had decided to focus on the objectives. That probably would have been a much different story. And hell, using lightning arcs would be terrifying against that fleet, as that puts me incredibly close to them just rushing and boarding me. And sadly, Pyroacid's not very good against this fleet, as I am immune to fire assaults. So the critical hit function causing fires on my ships does nothing at all. Alright, I guess we have a rematch with our opponent here. The big difference this time is I am going to use my Shroud fleet, which is probably going to make this even more terrifying, but that said, as I don't have the convenience to just keep outside of their weapon range and being light cruisers, I am going to suffer critical hits really easily too if I'm not careful. As another nerf that I just realized thinking about it is the pyramidical reconstruction being tied to the command skills arguably could be considered a nerf, as opposed to being an actual technical skill on the fleet itself. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that would be considered the case, because at least then it gives me the freedom to use my Doom Scythe more as a result for doing damage. And I don't think Transdimensional Bolt again is going to be very helpful here, but what are honestly my alternatives? A Beacon to just reveal him is the only thing I could think of, and Lightning Link is probably a terrible idea here. I don't honestly know what I could use. Getting close to him just means one of my ships are going to get destroyed, and I'm already conceding this to be a loss. The big reason of that is the flagship can grab the points five times faster than my ships, and the reason that's a big noteworthy thing is there's diminishing returns on my ships if multiples of them are grabbing the points. So it's not really like I can just have all 5 of them grab a point and just get it as quickly as a hive ship. It sadly does not work like that. I can only think of the Transdimensional Bolt if I'm so serious, as far as like an actual upgrade. Actually, let me just put everything here. Might as well try for the damn points. It's the only thing I got really going for me. I feel like, if they have at least some points early on while I figure out where the hell they are.
Initializing motive power.
And if I fire a beacon, that gives away a lot. And I do, the one plus side is I do have a lot of fighters. The problem is when they're recalled, they're kind of going to give away where I am. It's not as foolproof as it could be. But again, with the mission returns, I'm probably just going to leave one of these frigates here. And this is not at all annoying, isn't it?
Yes, my liege.
Trying to figure out
Disengage weapon.
where my ships are heading. And I am not the host this time, so I cannot hear them rushing like I did before. Which is another important factor this time around.
As you command.
And I'm pretty certain they are rushing. I don't see why they wouldn't, in all seriousness.
You have seized a strategic area.
And actually, let me get a stance on. That would probably be pretty helpful here.
Weapons array.
As with the Shroud Field, I'll be allowed to just switch that off later. Alright, we know where the
enemy
big
has seized a
flagship would
strategic
be.
area.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose those fighters, and sadly that's gonna suck, as I only got 2 charges of the Doom Scythes. But I didn't really detect anything there. So in all honesty, let's just go to where the beacon is currently.
You have seized a strategic area.
Inferior vessel sighted. Relocating. Impossible.
Alright, we have a sense of where they're at. Ah, dang it, I got revealed.
On the march.
I did not pay attention where the beacon was all this time.
I am
The lucky get. Having unintentionally be prepared for my fleet.
inevitable.
But I can still hide, I got objectives. So we're gonna teach this, we're gonna at least try to teach this fellow the importance. Dang it, just get in the gas cloud.
Drop void anchors.
Sadly, this is not gonna help me very much. I wonder if they even noticed the fighters, or they probably just launched the beacon on the point. So I could have dodged that and avoid a lot of this headache. Oh, now they're gonna go for the objectives,
Initializing.
which is good for me if I can do this right. And that's a battle cruiser, let's keep that in mind.
Yes, my liege. Bringing terror unseen.
I don't really want to launch fighters, but I am being revealed by pretty much this one fighter at the moment, or squadron.
Inferior vessel sighted. All motive units. As you command.
You know, let's try to do some damage somehow. And apparently I did a lot of shield damage to the flagship somehow. I was thinking maybe they're going to go after the objective, which they sort of are. Yeah, that's not going to board because of your angle. I think I'm already I think I'm already forced to suffer a terrible fate right now.
I am the dynasty spear. Yes, my liege.
Can we continue to jump? Since I sadly don't have my reload stance, and with them having no shields, I can do a lot of hull damage to this battle cruiser right now.
Motive power.
I do have some salt running, but are you hitting or oh, you're marked currently because of the tentacles? I forgot about that.
As you command.
I forgot that was an actual function of theirs.
Serve your glory.
Now, don't get the beacon stuck on you is the main plan here,
We are death.
and then we'll worry about jumping in a moment.
Motive units fully engaged.
There.
All power to motive units.
Get everyone out there.
How may I serve?
I don't even see my scare pulses, so that threw me off a bit because I didn't even know that that effectively went off. I thought that was one of theirs at first.
On the march.
I did good amount of damage, but now they're just tailing me.
I am the dynasty spear.
They were able to get the points so much more quickly, so I think I'm pretty much just screwed right now here.
I serve your glory.
And that hull damage is not going to do much.
What is your command?
And I don't think, yeah, this is just a terrible defeat right now, I think. It's feeling like it at the moment. Because right now I'm just running. And a good boarding result on them is going to cause a lot of problems. And where the hell are you going? Again, a problem with this dang invisibility bug. One of my ships is going the complete opposite direction, which is really sucking. And they decide to go all battle cruisers too.
Moving.
Boarding's not really important here. Did I catch the boarding party? Yes, I did.
Yes, my liege. Ready to serve.
If I can't really outrun these guys, it's a bit of a problem right now.
All power to motive units.
I had to mess up and
The
get
enemy has
revealed
accumulated
by the
25%
dang...
of strategic points.
Oh, this is not good. I can regenerate the engines in a moment, but this is not good at the moment.
What is your command?
And it's an honest question if I even want
Inferior
to
vessel.
burn. Yeah, because I'm not moving at all right now.
I am the dynasty spear.
We're doing a lot of damage to them still, but
25% of strategic points.
I don't think it's going well. I'm just running all day, and I can't even just...
Your command.
Yeah, I have... Even with all my cruises here, I didn't even get to neutralize the points is a bit of a problem.
Successful. Flayed ones are feasting. I serve your
Deck's gone, but that doesn't mean much, because I do have the Tesseract Crypt to help. Okay, thankfully my opponent just ignored the other 2 points, but again, still probably not helping me currently. And I'm gonna need to reactivate you in a moment. And now, where the hell are my frigates? Because this invisibility is infuriating as hell. Never mind the fact most of them are dead. I can reactivate this ship. If I can actually click on the cursed thing. Now I'm just gonna get bored and die abysmal death, I think.
inevitable.
I did not get bored, surprisingly.
Command.
But that doesn't help me much. Not all that much, because the rest of their fleet's invisible right now. And that's kind of what I was afraid of. This fleet is so much more powerful when it's able to spread out, and I'm able to harass. Because think of the amount of time I could have, like, shooting them in the back when they're not looking at me. But again, I don't have that convenience to grab points, sadly. Which would be a great way to use a splinter fleet. But it's just a terrible death at this point. I am doing good damage, but again, it's not enough. It's not just going to be enough. Come on, get moving. I would like to switch to reload. Maybe I should have stuck with reload all this time, even though it's not allowing me to hide myself the best. Because those two are crippled, we're making a way to them. Yeah, you're sadly getting boarded. So I think the crew is going to die there pretty soon. That might have been my biggest problem, honestly. Thinking I could use Assault Ryan actually effectively here. Which probably is not the case. I'm just trying to think what other alternatives do I have. I do have a Tesseract Bolt. That's not a big deal there. I can maybe kill that off. Yeah, without the... Nope, this is just... I get to kill some of their ships, but... Can we get out in some form? Because I accidentally deactivated this one ship by doing that. And 90 seconds until I even can use my pyramidical reconstruction. So I think the flagship is dead. There is little I could do here. And of course the hotkey switched from my scanner pulse there because I don't have my light cruisers target at the moment. I'm just trying to think of some kind of alternative. What do I have going for me right now? If I'm able to somehow kill these ships, that could help, but I need to reactivate the flagship. Which... I can reactivate, but... I'm just turning off another ship for it. Which is not really worth it considering. I can dodge that right. Nope, they're getting the boarding in. This is over. I thought maybe if I could kill off the battle cruisers I could have done something. Because now you're dead. I want you to activate for maybe another trans-dimensional bolt, but... Nope, this is over. And even then, it's going to take so long for me to kill their fleet, even if I got something going for me. Come on, please don't group order. It had promise, but because my entire fleet was clumped up, I had no way to really punish them. And again, spraying out to grab the points is a terrible idea just because of how dang long it would take for me to do it. It's no longer a good alternative. Ah, well. Because we saw them split up there. That's kind of the situation I want with my shrouds, to kind of split up and snipe, isolate ships. Since with the rushing, I couldn't really run away the best. And even then, I was doing a good amount of damage to them, but I just did not have the convenience to hit the one focus down, be able to focus down one of their ships, though. Ah, well. There's a reason why I don't use this fleet anymore, sadly. I thought maybe I could have a little bit of fun with it, but the main strategy of grabbing points was kind of to force them to split up, and if I can't do that in a timely manner anymore, then I can't really split them up to even do what this fleet's original intention was: isolate and nuke down, rapidly erase portions of their fleet while they're separated. Ideally. Either way, thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you next time.